to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. Not your ghost host, but close enough. It is spooky season after all. If you're a first-time listener, welcome, foolish mortals. I in a haunted mansion mood today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you love what you hear, and I hope you will consider subscribing to the show on the podcast app that you're listening on now. That really does help the show to be noticed and recommended within the app as people are looking for magical content. I would also appreciate it if you would share the show with friends you think would enjoy it. It's the gift that keeps on giving every Monday. Okay, let's get into today's trip report. In case you did not listen to the pre-trip interview, today you'll hear my conversation with Chris, aka Trumpet Squid, on TikTok, where we first connected. Chris recently traveled to Walt Disney World with his wife, Chrissy, September 5th through 9th. They utilized the services of Danny with Fantastical Vacations for this trip. Danny is Happy Places by Danny on both Instagram and TikTok, in case you have your own trip you'd like some assistance in planning. Chris and Chrissy were staying at Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs for the first time. Their vacation package included 4-day park hopper tickets and the quick service dining plan. They were looking forward to enjoying all 4 parks, checking out all the food and wine festival offerings, and going to Geo 82 for the first time. I think that should catch you up, so let's get into all the trip details. Please welcome Chris back to the show. Welcome back, Chris.
Thanks for having me back.
Trumpet Squid, aka I should say, for those who
Yes.
know you on TikTok and other platforms. Yes. Did you get a lot of content on this trip?
I think my wife said that she's like, there's so much content, you should have content until the next time we get back. So I think I should be fine. Definitely, I was really trying to post things on my Instagram account.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned out pretty good. So yeah, plenty of content. All video, lots of video, not too many photos, just like we should. So yes,
okay.
Lots of content.
In your pre-trip interview, we talked about your TikTok channel, and we talked about how lax I am on TikTok. But I did make an effort when I was down there Labor Day weekend. So I hope you noticed.
I did. Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Okay. And then I promptly came back and was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. That's the way you have to do it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I did get other things that I think I can post, and I will, but it's much easier while you're down there to post things.
Oh, the ideas flow. I felt like I should have been keeping notes on what kind of things I should post in the future. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this trip then. So you were there Friday, September 5th, the day after our birthday. And I say our
That's
because
correct.
We discovered in our first conversation that we share a birthday.
So, yeah, we only missed each other by a few days.
I know. I came back on the 2nd, and you went down on the 5th, and our mutual birthday was the 4th. Also the birthday of Beyonce, but I think Chris and I are probably the more famous people with that birthday. But this was September 5th through the 9th. So a nice little trip down there, just you and your wife, Chrissy. Yep. And you were staying at Coronado Springs in the tower.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So before we dive into all of your day-to-day activities, I want to hear how you like the tower.
We've never stayed there before. We have never stayed in any of the Coronado buildings or anything like that. We got there super late, probably like around 10 o'clock, because our flights, we had to wait until Christy was done with school. She's a teacher. And so we had to wait until she was done with that. And then when we got there, we probably were walking into the lobby around 10 o'clock. And I remember saying to Chrissy, hold on a minute, I gotta pull out my phone. I have to film myself walking in. And yeah, so we got in there about 10 o'clock. And the first thing that I remember was like, wow, it smells really good in here.
Yes.
Yeah. It was, other than that, it was, obviously we had 4 days of park tickets. So we were out and about. We didn't spend too much time there. we did spend some time there on Saturday night. I mean, overall, the hotel was, being in the tower, it really felt like I was in a very bougie hotel. Like, there were subtle Disney touches. It's definitely not, an overly Disney themed resort, but the touches are there, and I think I enjoyed trying to find the little Disney theming that they had sprinkled out throughout all the areas of the hotel.
Have you seen the Disney and Salvador Dali short that the theming is based around?
Oh, no, I haven't. I didn't even know. I should have done my research.
Okay, I cannot recall what it was called. It might be called Destino. I'm just going to do a quick little Google search here. Yes, it's called Destino. So when you watch it, because I know you'll watch it now, it's on Disney Plus. So I can't remember how long it is, but it's very artsy, obviously, because it's Salvador Dali and he's got a unique style. You don't necessarily watch it and think, oh, this feels like Disney, because it doesn't. But I watched it and it gave me an appreciation for some of the decor choices in the tower that I might not have really connected to Disney in any particular way. But when you see the short, you'll be like, oh, this does feel like it ties together.
I'm definitely going to watch it. I would say that it was both very colorful and also very muted. Like there were pieces of the hotel, like in the hallways, and certain art pieces, and the backdrop of Barcelona Lounge with the big coffee bar. There was all of these pops of colors and very bright, vibrant. But then the rest of, the outside of the tower and the rest of it was sort of lots of neutral tones. And then combine, and then when you start going over into the quick service area and the convention area, it really felt, in the convention area, it felt very upscale. Like it definitely felt like a convention hotel. The whole place felt like a convention hotel because it is. But one thing I thought was interesting too is that all of the food, if you're staying in the tower, there's barely, besides Toledo and then Barcelona Lounge, if you want quick service or the shop, it's all in the convention center portion.
Yeah.
So you kind of got
which is an easy walk, but much more convenient than if you're staying at one of the outer buildings. I do like the amount of options that you have there for food and beverages. So you've got the quick service, you've got Three Bridges, you've got there's that other restaurant.
Rick's.
Well, there's Rick's, but there's another one that the one that I've never been to. It's like a Mexican restaurant there on the corner. It's a table service.
Yes, Maya.
Maya Grill. There you go.
Yeah, Maya Grill. Yep.
Yeah. And then there's a really nice, in the tower on the bottom level, there's a really nice place that's a bar, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's a bar.
Barcelona Lounge.
Is that Barcelona Lounge?
Yeah, Dahlia's on the
Dahlia Lounge is in the top. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I like how it operated as a coffee bar during the day, and then at night it was a regular lounge.
Yeah, and they even had some, to-go items there too, so you didn't have to go all the way over if you, for breakfast or things like that.
Yeah.
It was great.
So overall, what would you rate Grand Destino Tower as a whole?
And I think it's important to note that we didn't stay in the outer buildings, so I think staying in the outer buildings, would be totally different than staying in the tower. I think I would have a different rating. I don't know. I guess out of 10, it was probably, I don't know what my rating scale is. What am I rating on? Just food and whatever.
Well, I would overall, say food options, amenities, just general.
I give it an 8.
Vibe.
I give it an 8. An 8.
Okay.
We didn't have our son with us, so we do have a 5-year-old, and honestly, having him there and staying in the tower, probably we would have just been consistently by the pool, and then in which case it probably would have been better to just stay in one of the buildings closer over there. But considering that this was an adults only trip, it was perfect for us. We really liked it.
I think that for an adults only trip, Gran Destino is a great way to go, and especially if you want a deluxe feel without paying
Mm.
a deluxe price.
It definitely felt deluxe. It felt
Mhm.
deluxe, and in fact, we had two of Chrissy's cousins happened to be there sort of at the same time that we were, and
Mhm.
they were staying in a deluxe resort. Um, and they had extended evening hours, and I was like, "Why don't we have it? Feels like I should have extended evening hours." But yeah, no, it's just a moderate. But it
Mhm.
really did. All the rumors are true. It's like it lives up to all of the hype. It
Mhm.
feels like a deluxe resort, even though it's not. It was awesome. We never went to the pool because we didn't really spend too much time.
Did you walk over and look at the pool at least?
We didn't even walk over and look at the
Okay.
pool.
Okay. The water slide is cool.
Yeah, well, so we actually, because we've heard such good things about it, we booked with our bounce back offers
Oh,
to go
spoiler
back to
alert.
Coronado. Ah, yeah, spoilers. To go back to Coronado Springs after our cruise
Okay.
next April to bring
Oh,
our son.
nice.
And so we're gonna stay in a building that's closer to the pool and all that stuff. But
Which will save you a little bit of money as well, staying in one of the
oh
office
yeah,
buildings.
we can
Yeah.
talk about that later. But yeah, but we don't know the other. So the Three Bridges bar, right?
Mhm.
It's like in the middle of the Three Bridges, right? But the place where it is called Villa del Lago,
Uh-huh.
and so it's like Three Bridges bar at Villa del Lago. So none of the signs in the hotel where you're like wayfinding say
Uh-huh.
Three Bridges. They all say Villa del Lago,
Oh, that's
and
so funny.
and so I'm walking around and I'm like, where, like, how do we get out there? What is this? And yeah, and even when you get over there and you start talking to the bartenders and wait staff and whatever, they're like, yeah, it's kind of weird. All of the napkins, everything says Villa del Lago, not Three
Uh-huh.
Bridges. So everyone calls it Three Bridges,
Uh-huh.
but it's like Three Bridges at Villa del Lago, and so
Okay.
Imagineering has their reasons, I'm sure, but
I can't say I had ever noticed that.
these are
So,
the things that I
yeah.
noticed. You're in for a
Yeah.
ride. But food was great, wait staff was great, drinks were great,
Mhm.
very great upscale bar, and a big eating area. Even for families, it wasn't like
Mhm.
an adults only space at all. It
Oh, yeah.
definitely bridged
Yeah.
both. No pun intended. Bridged both sides.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Ba-dum-ching.
yeah.
Did you try the sangria flight?
We did not. No, I don't. We didn't
Okay.
have an opportunity to do that. We only spent time at Three Bridges on Saturday night after we had a full day in the parks, and so
Okay.
we were focused on eating, and I think my wife may have had a margarita or something like that. But we did not have the
Okay.
sangria flight, much to our chagrin.
Okay. Well, highly recommend that the next time you go. Um,
Check.
before we get into all of your everyday stuff, though, I wanted to ask because you got the quick service dining plan included in your
Mm-hmm.
stay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you had said that you don't normally do the dining plan, but because it was
First time
included,
ever. Yeah.
you took it.
Yep.
How did you feel about it?
Um. Again, it's like I did try to do some research, watch some
Mhm.
YouTube videos, how to get the best value out of your dining plan and things like
Mhm.
that. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I have this dining plan. I have to I have to try to make it work, right? Like I
Mhm.
want to get some value out of it. So we had the dining plan. We also had like a couple gift cards and things, and so I was like, how do we make this all work? Um, I thought it was great. Would I actively seek it out and to get to like pay to say yes, I want a book and I want to have the dining plan? I don't know. I think I'd think about it. We
Mhm.
did get to the end of our trip, the last day, and we still had credits left, and so we didn't have to like go spend it on random things. We real like the night before we said, okay, we have four quick service credits left. Like we canceled we had a sit down dining reservation on the last day. We canceled that, and instead we were like, let's use these four
Mhm.
credits for their worth instead of dumping it, or
Right.
whatever. So we did, and we used everything. I will say the one cool thing about it was we were there doing food and wine at Epcot, and so almost all of the food that we got at the festival booths, we use snack credits for.
Okay.
So that's an interesting thing. Is normally
Mm-hmm.
your snack would be a bottle of water or a $3
Popcorn
bag of
or
chips or
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
But at the food and wine festivals or all the festivals, if you use the snack credit at the festival booths, you're getting a much better deal. You're
Mm-hmm.
getting like the rice bowl, you're getting the filet mignon. As long as it's got that dining plan logo next to it,
Mm-hmm.
we found that was really the bang for the buck, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Okay. All right. Well, let's dive right in. So, Friday, September 5th, you were flying from Washington D.C. down to
Yep.
MCO. You said you were arriving around 10. Was everything smooth with your flight?
Yeah, for those of us, anyone of our who's listening that is in the Washington D.C. area, we flew Southwest out of Terminal A, and that was like it was. We had a 7 o'clock flight. Oh, it was just the throngs of humanity, and I always get so annoyed. It's like people don't. I know that Southwest is changing their policies about the flight, the seats, and whatever, but it's like it's 2025. How do you not know people that they have open seating? And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So I was. My wife would say that I was probably a little stressed out as we were leaving because of just of the circumstances. But luckily, we were slightly delayed because I don't know. I guess the flight coming in was delayed, but we weren't. It wasn't too bad. They caught us up in the sky, and
Mm-hmm.
flight was bumpy at points, but we did land. We landed in MCO just a little after 9 o'clock.
Okay. And you were planning to take an Uber. Everything
Mm-hmm.
go okay with the Uber?
That was great. Yeah, we actually took a Lyft because I had some kind of
Okay.
discount on a credit card or something, and we ended up taking Lyfts the whole time. Yeah, I mean, so it worked out. We were I stopped at the Starbucks. That's in like we were I guess the A terminal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Starbucks there in the baggage claim area, which I've gone to almost every single time.
Mm-hmm.
That worked out great. And then we got on a Lyft take us back. We were at Grand Destino, like I said, probably after we got our bags and everything. We arrived at Grand Destino about a little before 10:30,
Mm-hmm.
and we were on the way there passing Disney Springs. And I had said to Chrissy, like, we could have, Gideon's is open until 11. We could have pulled over
Made a
here
little
and got
stop.
cookies. And then of course it's like, what do you do with your bags? Okay, fine. So
Yes. And I have to point out that the following morning on Saturday, September 6th, you were planning to rope drop Animal Kingdom, which is
we were,
the earliest
yes.
rope drop. So I think going straight to the hotel and getting some rest was probably the move.
Yeah. So we got to the hotel, and one of the things that I was really focused on was we wanted a king bed. We'd never sun with us. We have a queen bed at home. We wanted the king bed. So I remember checking in, and I don't like to check in on the app. People will say it's convenient. You get it. You go to your room. It probably would have been convenient. I don't like to do it because I think it takes away the opportunity for something magical to happen. You never know. You never know. So I always like to check in. I always like to talk with the people at the desk and all that. So I was like, hey, is there any way that we could get, do you know if it's a king bed? He said, no, it's two queens. And we're like, oh, is there any way we can get a king bed? And it's like, oh, well, it would be an upcharge. And I said, okay, no problem. How much is the upcharge? It's like, oh, I got to call Disney I got to figure that out. Okay. So he called, a couple minutes passed by. I'm looking at the clock. We hadn't eaten since before the flight. And everything was closing at 11. So I said, hey, is it okay if we go get something to eat and maybe we'll come back? He was like, oh yeah, no problem, whatever, go ahead and do that. So we were able to go. We dragged all of our bags over to the Mercado, what is it called? Yeah, Mercado de Coronado, the quick service area. I don't know why we dragged our bags. We just did. So also I had no idea how far it was. And then we learned that we were dragged our bags all the way through the convention area, got something to eat. Then when we came back, the person at the front desk said, yeah, everything's fine. Here you go. We were able to get you the king size bed. No problem. And, he was like, oh, I said, well, how much was the upcharge? And he was like, "Oh no, we couldn't give you an upcharge on your birthday and all this." So
Aw.
I was like, "Okay, that was really nice." So shout out to John Dell from the Bronx at the front
Oh,
desk
from the
there.
Bronx. I
From the
didn't know
Bronx,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
I was so of course we talked about that and being from New York and so yeah, it was great. Everything turned out great, and then like you mentioned, we had an early rope drop, so we pretty much passed out.
Okay. Did you make it in time for rope drop?
We did.
Mm-hmm.
We set our alarm. We had a 5:30 alarm because the park
Oh,
opens. What is it? The
yeah.
park for early
It
entry. The park
opens at
opens at
8,
seven
so it's
thirty.
7:30 for early entry. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to get up and get ourselves ready. We grabbed some coffee from the lounge, Barcelona Lounge,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to get on the bus just before 7 o'clock. It was perfect,
Okay. All
and we
right.
made it there. We made it there for rope drop. We got in. I had a single pass lightning lane for Chrissy to do Flight of Passage. I
Okay.
don't do rides that make me sick, so I wasn't for me.
I
So
mean, solid policy. If
yeah,
it makes me sick, I'm not doing it.
we rope dropped Navi River Journey. I had
Mm-hmm.
never done it before. I'm good now. That's 2.5 minutes. I'll never get back.
But to be fair, that line builds up. So
Right.
if you don't have something else you want to rope drop anyway, I think rope dropping Navi River Journey is a pretty good use of your rope drop time because
Yeah.
I'm not willing to wait a long time for that ride.
Yeah, and I'd never done it. I had heard that same exact opinion, and so I'm like, I got to see it. Let me hopefully the animatronic was working, and it was. Everything was
Mm-hmm.
great. Animatronic was mind blowing. The
Mm-hmm.
smoothest piece of technology I've ever seen. The hype is real. Like it was very great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 2.5 minutes. I was like, I think I remember saying I was kept waiting for the ride to start. There's no like narration, no one telling you
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking at. I kept wanting it to be more like Living with the Land, I guess.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was just like you're just going through this forest and looking at things, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
the shaman at the end and get off the ride. So
Right.
I was like, that was beautiful, but I'm good now. Now I can check the
Mm-hmm.
box and say that I did it. But it was
Mm.
a good way to start. Absolutely.
If it was going to be a National Geographic style ride where they did give you some narration, do you have someone in mind that you would want to narrate it?
Oh man. I think like a Liam Neeson voice would be really good there, talking
That might be
about
scary. Like, I'm going to
well,
hold you hostage in this boat.
but I think something in that vein, that would just,
Mm.
I wanted someone to tell me what I was looking at. But
Mm-hmm.
then I guess the theming is you're in a boat going down the river, so there isn't anyone there to talk to you. So it all made sense, I guess. But
Mm. I would
it was
want
great.
something soothing. Like, I'm thinking Dame Judi Dench, but she already does Spaceship Earth. So I kind of feel like we shouldn't reuse her. So someone like that with a very
Yeah,
soothing
maybe
British
a Helen
accent.
Mirren.
Yes. Yes. That would be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, then after that, we went to the safari. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't run there. We didn't. There was a large crowd because that's sort of. I guess there's a rope there. The
Mm.
actual rope drop is on that bridge or something that gets you into Africa. So we were already done with Pandora, and there are people that were waiting there to get into the next part of the park.
Did you have a lightning lane? Because I know you were planning on getting multi-pass.
We did not get multi-pass that day
Okay.
for the
Okay.
first day. So for the Saturday, we didn't have multi-pass. We just had the single pass lightning lane for Flight of Passage for Chrissy, and everything else we were flying by the seat of our pants.
Okay. All right. So how long a wait did you have for this
Oh,
party?
we were able to get, we walked with the crowd, walked straight to the back where everybody was going. We were probably on in less than 10 minutes. So
Okay. Nice.
it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. It was really, it was everything. I love the safari in the morning, because the animals are up and about, and
Mm-hmm.
You never know what you're going to see. This one was there was a lot of like hippo action, a lot of rhino action. The giraffes.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Hippo action.
There was a lot of hippos,
a lot of hungry hippos.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Yeah, the safari is a must do. If you're going to go to Animal Kingdom, I feel like if you don't go on the safari, why are you going?
Yeah, agreed.
I love it. My favorite. And then after that, I really wanted to. We were hungry, and so I really wanted to get this thing that I was seeing on social media, which I feel like drives a lot of people's decision making. If they're on social media and they're paying attention to Disney social media, there's all these food things that pop up, and you're like, oh, I really want to try that.
Yep.
This one was a stuffed pancake. It was a sausage, egg, and cheese inside of a pancake with a guava jelly.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yes.
Yeah, so I was asking everybody. I thought maybe it was at Kusafiri or Kusafari, however you say it. And finally I was like, I'm going to stop trying to like figure this out on my own and ask someone that knows. So we asked a cast member, I'm trying. It's funny. I said, I'm trying to find a stuffed pancake, and they looked very strangely at me. And she's like, well, maybe you can find, I don't know if we sell those in the gift shop. And I was like, oh, not a stuffed animal. I'm looking for a pancake. And she knew exactly where it was, pointed us in the right direction after that. And I ate that while Chrissy went and did her flight of passage. So it was awesome.
How was that? Was it?
Oh, it was everything.
Okay.
It was so good. I love sugar, like sweet and salty things together. So it hit all the right buttons. It was perfect. Okay. I was sitting in the Asia section in one of those. I feel like at Animal Kingdom, there's all these little seating areas that nobody really, you just happen upon them. They're not. Right. And so I found one of these up against the water, and I just sat. There were fans. It was great. Perfect. Sat there, filmed myself eating it, which was awkward, and then, and enjoyed. Waited for her to come back.
Everybody's doing it these days, so you just gotta.
There's a lot of that. Yeah.
Dive right in.
Yeah.
All right. Where did you meet up with Chrissy after she was done with her flight of passage?
So I kind of screwed up the timing. I thought she had a lightning lane at 9 that started at 9, and it turned out that it ended at 9.
Oh, okay.
So once I figured that out, she hoofed it over to Pandora from Asia, made it in time, did it, and then came back. So we didn't have to both of us didn't have to double back. God bless her. So I sat and ate my guava pancake. She went and did flight of passage and came back to get me. And then we continued on into the rest of the park. And we did a couple photo passes. Sorry, not photo passes. What are they called? Yeah, photo pass, right? Yeah, photo pass people. And did a little gift shop browsing, and then we happened upon Nemo, the Big Blue World show, which we'd never seen. And one of the things we had talked about prior to all this was trying to hit up the things that we haven't done, or the things that would be really difficult to do with a 5-year-old who just wants to get up and pee or whatever. So we went to see the Nemo show. We thought it was great. The puppeteers and the way that they do that with. Have you ever seen it?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Yeah, so
I love it because I love musical theater. So
okay, yeah. So the way it's like they have got the people are holding the puppet, but they're doing the talking and the singing. The whole craft was it was awesome. It was great. We really enjoyed that. And so you kind of continue that way through. You're going through Asia, and then you're getting into the Dino Land area, and this is where things went off the rails a little bit because
okay.
I've never done the dinosaur ride. The last time that I had the opportunity,
almost a final chance for you,
right? And so again, I'm thinking, all right, I put my content creator hat on. I'm like, I have to make sure I go and get some content. The last time that I had attempted to do the dinosaur ride. I chickened out, like, in the loading room. I chickened out. I'm gonna admit it freely. I chickened out. I was like, because I don't like I don't like thrill rides. I don't like roller coasters. So anything that is remotely, I'm like, I don't want to do it. But people was like, oh no, dinosaurs different. No, it doesn't go, there's no drops. It's not fast, blah, 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 blah. So the last time I was there, I chickened out right at the loading area and I left. This time, I had my wife with me. I had Chrissy with me. I was like, we're going to do it together to protect me. And so we were in. We didn't have lightning lanes. We didn't have multi-pass. So actually, the first time we tried to go in it went down right before we got into like the building. And so we circled back again. And when we finally got to do it, I get in the ride, and I was regretting it. I was like, I get in. I was like, oh, Christy's like, no, it's gonna be fine, whatever. It's gonna be great. And then it starts to go, and it's okay, great. Oh,
it's bumpy.
I'm gonna take you. Yeah, the car. It's almost as if like you were on Star Tours, right? But not in the enclosed space, right? So
yeah, it's like off-roading.
Yeah, but it was like almost like smooth off-roading, at least in the beginning. Then we get through the whatever time jump thing, and the car starts doing the ride, and I shut my eyes, held on for dear life, and did not open them until the ride was finished. I don't even know what happened. All I know is that my body, I think I had tensed up so hard between my hands holding onto the bar and like my feet on the bottom, like bracing myself up against of course we were in the front row. And so, I'm like trying not to move my head, and the ride swishes you back, right, left, and whatever, all the things. And at the end, I was like, I felt like my whole body was broken. And I was like, I don't even know what happened. I think I opened my eyes at the end, saw the iguanodon, and that was it. And then I filmed an immediate TikTok video, sweating, dripping down my face.
Oh my gosh.
You all lied to me. That was terrible. I never want to do that again. Good riddance.
Well, did Chrissy like it?
She loved it. Yeah,
she was into it. Okay.
She loved it. She does all the things that I don't want to do. So it's a great match.
Have you looked at your photo yet?
Oh yeah, the photo. I'll just take 1 second, and I know that no one's going to be able to actually see it, but I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see that there. She is literally like, I am like, so I'm terrified, and she is comforting me.
You look like someone is about to hit you with a baseball bat or something. Like you're tensed up and crouched forward.
I'm like, my whole face is, and she's smiling and like patting me like everything's going to be okay.
Aww.
And there's of course small children in the cars that are laughing and thinking this is great. And so yes, it's all a lie. I will not be going on Indiana Jones if that's just the same ride.
The same track, so it'll
It was wow. It was
okay. Well, but now you can say you did it.
I did it. I've got the ride photo. Check it off the box.
Done. Okay.
There was nobody in the park. There was a dino that was the one ride that had, besides Flight of Passage, that had really high wait times. Even Everest was super low wait times the whole time we were there. So we're walking past, and I'm saying, oh, Everest is pretty low wait. Why don't you go, Chrissy? She likes roller coasters, so she went and did that. She had to wait in the queue for about 10 or 15 minutes, but she enjoyed that. And that's where I found the first of many benches that outside of the gift shop, where you can see the Everest coaster do its big dip.
Yes,
and that was great. Lots of people there. I sat there and waited for her.
Was this your top bench in Animal Kingdom? Because for listeners who did not listen to the pre-trip report, I challenged Chris to find his favorite bench in every park because my husband has a favorite bench. And we decided that Chris's challenge was going to be to benchmark benches and tell me all his favorites.
Yeah, this was probably my favorite in the park. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I liked it. Was a combination of there's a lot of people watching. You can watch the coaster. It was fairly shaded, near gift shop. I liked it. I don't know. I don't know what were
solid reasons for liking a bench.
It was great. So I sat there and waited for her, and it was all good. Then we were one of the other things that was on our list for Animal Kingdom was to go to get to Nomad Lounge.
Of course.
We made it over to Nomad Lounge, waited a short bit, and got some drinks and food and hung out and just relaxed, let my body recombobulate. Yeah. So that was that's a number one thing for us to do is go there.
Do you remember what you had to drink?
Yeah, I asked the waiter. I say, "What's the sweetest drink you have on the menu?" I don't have a problem drinking, but I like sweet things. I don't want to taste my alcohol, so I got a Leaping Lizard, and then Chrissy got the Snow Leopard Salvation. And we shared some pork belly, some sliders, and I think the star of the show, I thought I had these before, but maybe I didn't, was the churros that they have there.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 100%. The only good churros in Disney World.
They were so good. I was like, that was amazing. Must do.
And they're gluten-free.
Which then made us sit there being like, how are they gluten-free? It's like tapioca wheat or something.
I don't know how they do that, but in my mind, it means they're healthy.
They did not feel healthy, but no.
It's a lie I tell myself in Disney.
And crispy and soft and whatever the sauces were that they gave us it was fantastic.
And sometimes I know, so we had gotten them a few days before you, and it had the chocolate sauce and the vanilla sauce. But there are some times of the year where they give you a third sauce that is either strawberry or raspberry, as some kind of berry. Oh. And I love that one because then you can sort of mix that with the vanilla or mix it with the chocolate, and the combination is really good.
The vanilla, I'm usually, when it comes to food like that, like a chocolate dip person. The vanilla, that custard was, and the churro, the cinnamon, it was phenomenal. And I will forever be chasing that deliciousness yet again. It was awesome. After that, we had plans about going to Epcot, and that's what we had originally talked about doing. We probably talked about it in our pre-show, but after my dinosaur experience, I was like, and the fact that we got in late and we got up early, we did what any good Disney group should do, and pivot and just, it's, you know what, it's okay if you had plans, I feel like as long as you're not wasting money, that's my big thing is like, if we have to cancel something, I want to make sure I do it 2 hours before, like within the thing. I don't want to waste money, but we didn't have any plans. We were just going to go to Epcot and like graze and, eat. And I was like, you know what? It was far too hot. That's one thing we haven't talked about yet, was how hot it was. It was extremely hot, but that's not surprising. And so we decided just to go back to Coronado and have a nice evening, get something to eat at the hotel. And then we ended up, we had plans to meet up with Chrissy's cousins that evening at Three Bridges. So once we got back to Coronado, we took a nap. I couldn't tell you how long it was for, but it was long. One thing I love is a cold hotel room. And I may or may not have looked up a hack on how to get that temperature to go down lower than it should.
I know the hack you're talking about, and yeah, can recommend.
I'd never done it before. Never done it before at Disney but we got there and it was like, this is not doing it. This has to go lower. So I was able to pull something up on YouTube and figure it out, and it was perfect the rest of the time we were there. But we snagged a dining reservation at Toledo's on the roof in Gran Destino. And originally were saying like, oh, we should try this place because it's in the hotel, yada yada yada. But we ended up not making a reservation because the menu wasn't necessarily speaking to us, But we started going through the menu when we woke up from our nap and like looking at, oh, what about this? What about that? And the one thing that caught our eye was they have this ribeye for two, a bone-in ribeye, for two people, sides, and we're like, oh, that sounds really good. So we ended up doing that, and it was phenomenal. We had a great waiter, Sean. He was awesome. He guided us through the whole thing. We got the ribeye. It came out great. Got some sides. And they gave me some kind of dessert thing for my birthday, so that was nice.
Nice.
I put that button was on the whole week. Okay. Oh, the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
Yes, my birthday was the day before we arrived, but I admitted that if someone asked, you got to wear the button.
No, you have to. I mean, I wore my button the entire Labor Day weekend, and my birthday was 2 days after I got home. So
exactly,
it's fine. Close enough.
Yeah, and my wife will say that I'm not someone that loves to celebrate my birthday. Some people love their birthdays, and that's fine. But I'm not. I'm just like, okay, my birthday. But at Disney, I will wear that button, and I will happily accept the thousands of happy birthdays that I got.
Me too. Maybe it's a Virgo thing because I feel the same way. And it also could be like when we determined that even though we were born in different years, we were both born on Labor Day. And so as a result, like when you're a kid and growing up, frequently like no one's around for your birthday because people go away for Labor Day weekend. And so that has also made me somebody who's like, meh, my birthday. Yeah. And I like it when people wish me happy birthday, but I don't typically make a big deal out of it. But in Disney, every time somebody wished me a happy birthday, I was like, thank you. Thank you.
Every time I was like, thank you so much. Or, and then the funny part is they'd look at Chrissy and they kind of nod. Like they don't know what to say. One person was like, and happy unbirthday to you.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So we had a lovely dinner, and then we hung out at Dahlia Lounge with Chrissy's cousins for a bit, had a couple drinks. Then went to Three Bridges, hung out there for a little while, and got to bed because we had a 7:45 muster at Barcelona Lounge the next day to get us ready to go to Epcot. So that was That was our Saturday.
Okay, so Sunday, September 7th, it sounds like you went to Epcot instead of going to Magic Kingdom like you had thought you might start the day there because it was a party day and was going to be low traffic.
Yeah, we ended up sticking with our plan we thought we might go to Magic Kingdom, but we ended up oh, that's right. You know what? It's funny, between the pre-meeting, our pre-show and this show, I had my like written out plans, and then we conferred with Chrissy's cousins to see what they were doing, and so they ended up wanting to get a light rope drop to get on Guardians and all that. So again, like any good Disney group, pivot.
I love a good pivot. But I have a really burning question for you though. You had said you were going to stop at Le Petit for some banana bread this day. Did you do it?
We never did it.
Oh,
I was, and in fact, at some point I remember being like, oh, I said that I was going to do that, and we never did it because it would have been a good day to do that, but we pivot.
You'll do it next time.
It gives me something to do when we come back. So I have still not had the banana bread, chocolate chip banana bread. So hopefully it'll still be there when I get back.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a staple. think you're good.
So we ended up going to Epcot that morning. They wanted to rope drop Guardians. I maybe I talked about it on the pre-show, but Guardians I have been on Guardians. For someone who hated Dinosaur, I went on Guardians of my own volition when it opened, the year it opened, and obviously I hated it. It was awful. Everyone said, "Oh, Chris, it's so smooth. It's such a smooth coaster. You won't even know that you're moving." And yes, you're absolutely right. It was very smooth. I did not feel that I got bumped around. However, the G-forces and the dumps and the swings and that thing turning around, no, that was another awful, terrible experience. So I opted out. Let Chrissy.
So what did you do instead?
I ended up sitting in the because we had pivoted to this plan. I didn't eat anything that morning, so I went and sat in Connections Cafe, got Starbucks, and when I'm there, and maybe you feel the same way, I don't know. I try to avoid Starbucks because there's Starbucks everywhere, and I mean, some people I know will rope drop Starbucks, and that's fine. But generally, when I'm there, I try to either do Joffrey's or something that I can't get back at home.
Right.
So I ended up, but this morning I was tired. They were going off to Guardians, and they were doing in the standby line, and so it took them a while. It took them about 30 minutes to get through it all, and so I had a sandwich and a coffee, and just literally sat there until they came back to get me. So yeah, but it was great.
I love
perfect.
just sitting and people watching, and that can be very enjoyable at Disney. And if you have the time to do it, I encourage people to slow down and just watch the world go by.
Yeah, this was definitely the name of the game for this trip was to not stress, not try to. Yes, we were going to get up it early and whatever, but when there was time for us to chill out and not do as much, I tried to take advantage of that as much as possible.
Did they tell you what song they got when they were on Guardians?
I think they got Conga.
Okay.
They did have a lightning lane for Guardians later in the day, so they did it twice.
Okay, yeah, that's the way to do it. If you love the ride. If you love the ride.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, as if you love it, that's get up early, go in and do it, and then get one later in the day. So after they came back, we went on. We did have multi-pass for this day.
Okay.
And so I had a lightning lane for Living with the Land, not because you needed it, but because it's an easy one to kind of check off for the day and then maybe go elsewhere because we had plans to go to Hollywood Studios for the evening.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, there's not a ton that I want to do ride-wise in Epcot now since Spaceship Earth is under refurbishment or whatever it is that they're doing. So
yeah,
figure Living with the Land, Lightning Lane, Bing, and then I can pick up one in Hollywood Studios right away, early in the morning.
Do you do Soarin'?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Rides? Okay.
I'm an odd duck.
Okay.
I do Soarin'. And in fact, we did right after we got on Living with the Land. Actually, right after we got on Living with the Land, they had their Lightning Lane for Guardians. So I hung out in the Land Pavilion for a bit by myself. They went off and did Guardians and then came back and we all did Soarin'.
Okay.
And the only part that I closed my eyes for on Soarin' is the lift. The initial lift of the machine. Okay. Other than that,
once you're up,
then it's like, okay, oh, this is fine. It's great. I mean, I what can I say? I'm just a scaredy cat. It's never going to go away. But I do love Soarin'. The smells, the music. The music. Yeah. Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton. Yes, there's so many things to love about Soarin'.
It's like quintessential. Like when I think about Disney, some people think about Space Mountain and all that. I'm like, Soarin', Living with the Land. These are that's my stuff. So we did go on Soarin'. That was great. Then Chrissy and her cousins had a Lightning Lane for Test Track, so she got to go do that. They loved it. They thought that the new 3.0 Test Track was a good successor, and it was awesome. I've never been on it, but I'm good. So they enjoyed that. I had a hot dog. It was about 8. I remember looking at like how hot it was. And I was like, it was like 88 degrees on my phone, so it must have felt like it was hotter than that. And that was actually probably my first quick service credit that I used, was getting a hot dog, which not the best use of a quick service credit, but I needed to try it out.
You didn't use a quick service credit for your pancake wrap stuffed thing?
I didn't. And let me tell you why. Because I was thinking, I have to get the most value out of my quick service meals. And I remember the woman at the cashier saying, like, "Oh, do you want to use your quick service?" I was like, "No, I do not. I want to save it for something else." Which, looking back on it, was silly, because by the end of the last day, right, we had like 4. So I would just say use them. Use them.
I have talked about the dining plan before, but I will say that to me there are 2 schools of thought. There's one that you're just going to embrace it for the convenience factor and not feeling like you have to think about how much things cost and just kind of breezing through. And if you can have that attitude, awesome for you. That is not me. I am get the most value out of it that I can. And so it actually takes more thought and work for me to use the dining plan than to not have it. And I have done multiple trips back in the day. It's been a while because I kept getting consistent results where I would buy the food I wanted when I wanted to eat it and just pay out of pocket. And I kept a running tally. And at the end of every single trip, I paid less out of pocket, just buying whatever I wanted, like no restrictions. Like, yes, add a dessert. Yes, add an appetizer if I felt like it, and just kind of doing what I felt like when I felt like it. It always came out to be less than the dining plan. So I eventually was able to say, you know what, I can now wrap my head around the fact that I personally will always be better without the dining plan. I was tempted on this Labor Day weekend trip, because I was doing a split stay, to do it for one night so that I could get my mug and stuff like that, but
I
ended up not doing it because I was like, I could handle one day's worth of credits, but then it actually wasn't going to work out.
The mug's another. You do get the mug with the dining plan, but I think we only used it. We had to like force ourselves to use it.
Yeah.
And at Coronado in the tower, you have to walk so far just to fill up your resort mug.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're back at the elevator, it's gone. It's so, but so I had my hot dog. It was delicious. Probably I remember having that hot dog and thinking, initially I was like, this isn't going to be good. I shouldn't do this. It's 88 degrees out. Why do I want a hot dog? But of course, when I had it, I was like, oh, this is
the best hot dog ever.
It was so good. It was so good. Nothing will beat a Dirty Water Dog, Sabrett hot dog in Manhattan. I stand by this for the day. That those dogs, the Snap. I love hot dogs, and like I yearn for that. But it was pretty good. So after that, then we started to do like the grazing of the festival booths and all that. We started started walking towards Mexico and all of that, and we tried out the flavors from Fire Booth, and everybody got some smoked corned beef poutine, not poutine, but it was like a smoked corned beef potato chip thing going on there.
Okay.
So that was good. Then we went and hit up the Hawaii booth. We love Hawaiian food. We've never been to Hawaii. More on that later. We've never been to Hawaii, but we love Hawaiian food. I like Spam and like all that stuff, and just the flavors of teriyaki and the mayonnaises and things. So we hit up the Hawaii booth and got a Spam rice bowl, and Chrissy got a Maui IPA. She loves that kind of stuff. Then we kept going. We hit up China. Got some cocktails there. I got like a frozen strawberry jasmine cocktail that was delicious.
That sounds tasty.
And then hit up Germany for some raclette cheese with ham, and I'm gonna butcher this. Schinkendulen from Germany. It's it's like a
I'm gonna take your word
cake.
for it.
Oh, it was so good. It was delicious. It's like a noodle cake with ham and onions and cheese. It looked like a piece of lasagna. It was awesome. Again, very hot, like just hot in the outside, and you're eating hot food. I always prefer to do food and wine in the fall. Like, I know it stretches into that, so I really love doing it like, in October and November. But we were here in September, so that's is what it is. And then after that, I was like, it's so hot. I need to be inside. I need to slow. Like, I remember at one point we walked through the Norway. There's like I forget what it's called, a church thing.
Oh yeah, it's like a little display about Vikings.
Church. Yeah, and they've got Odin in there, but it's so cold. It's like super cold in there, and I was like, we have to hit that up. I'm just going to walk around in a circle a couple times and get some air conditioning. But then we got to Italy, and we made the decision, Chrissy and I, we split up from her cousins, and we went to Tutto Gusto wine cellar. Wasn't on the menu, wasn't on the plan. It was just like, oh, that's indoors. And Chrissy had seen it on some social media clip. So we went in, we had to wait a little bit to get a table, but that was fine because we were in the air conditioning, and she got an espresso martini, and I got crisp Diet Coke, and like we drank probably 10 waters between us, and it was great. We had a couple things there and just enjoyed the air conditioning and trying to plan out the rest of the day, figuring out what we were going to do. So that was really good, and it was a pretty hopping place. This was not on my radar, Tutto Gusto, but from what I saw, it was definitely a place that other people knew about. I didn't, but it was. I think we would definitely go back there if we were trying to find some AC in the World Showcase for sure.
What time did you end up hopping over to Hollywood Studios? Were you kind of nearing the time where you were thinking, let's start hopping?
Well, there's more. so we got, after that, we picked up some lemon sorbet and peach tea. We stopped at Japan and got a couple things. We stopped at the Grease booth and picked up some griddled cheese. And this is where I found another bench. I found a bench outside of the France pavilion because Chrissy was picking up like an orange crush or something. And there's a bench. There's a bench that's right outside of Chefs de France next to the France booth. And I just sat there, and there were all these people. Again, it was a great people watching spot. Lots of people walking around. It was in the shade. There was like a tree above it. It was great. So that might be that's in the run. I'm pretty sure that might be my favorite. The bench for Epcot is this bench in front of Chefs de France. Yeah, I really liked that. And we popped into the seas. We did Nemo, and I had to pick up a yellow pull tab keychain for a friend.
Oh,
they were going viral. They're
on
popular.
Social media.
Yeah. She told us about those, and she was like, "If you're there and you see it, we saw it." So pick that up. But we had 5:40 p.m. reservations for GO82, so we ended up going to GO82, and the bartenders surprised us with champagne for my birthday. Had no idea, they saw my button and they gave us all champagne for my birthday. Initially, I had ordered like a water and didn't get a cocktail, and so they thought that I wasn't drinking, so they actually gave me like non-alcoholic champagne. which was nice. But eventually, I was like, oh no, I'm good. I'll take the real champagne. So that was very nice. GO82 was everything that I think people were hyping it up to be, which is this like very adult space, very chic. Everything was gold and black or gold and silver. Even the bathroom was like the most beautiful bathroom I've seen on property. It was smaller than I anticipated. I mean, when you're looking at it from the outside and you're like at the Walt statue where Walt is sitting and you're looking up and you see those windows, that's where it is. And it's much smaller space when you're in there. We sat at the bar and then there was, probably 20 or so tables and some booth seating, but probably not more than maybe 100 people in there at a time.
If you were thinking about square footage, what would you compare it to space wise that most people would be able to understand what you're talking about?
It almost felt like oh, you stumped me now. Uh it just wasn't. I'm trying to think of something that it honestly it couldn't. It felt like a small gift shop. Like it
Okay.
wasn't like a gift shop in like some of those Frontierland gift shops where they're not that they're it wasn't very wide. It was thin and long,
Uh-huh.
like a big rectangle, a curved rectangle.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay. Huh.
yeah. But the drink. I mean, so we didn't. There was some food. There was like the bartender called it the best charcuterie board on property. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I got a non-alcoholic cocktail, which was good. It had like let me see if I wrote it down. Nope, I didn't. I got like it had like mint in it, and it was very. It could have been a gin cocktail if it had alcohol in it, but it didn't. It was very like herbal and floral. It was
Mm.
really good, very sweet, which I liked. And all of the ice that they used, everything had ice molds that had all the geodesic like lines on it and stuff. So everything was very on theme to this almost like the Epcot theme, but
Right.
it had like I would call it like enhanced future vibe.
Okay.
It was very chic, very chic. I would go back if I was with people who had never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back with them, or if I wanted to take someone there. I don't think personally I need to go back there. Like if I was going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
it was a bar. It was nice. It had good
Mm-hmm.
air conditioning, but I wouldn't be surprised if the biggest benefit is there was no screaming kids or anything like that. It was just a nice hum of adulthood in there, so that was nice. And then after GO82, we hopped over to Hollywood Studios. We took the Skyliner, and got to Hollywood Studios about 7 o'clock. Got some food, and then we were there for Fantasmic at 8:30. So Fantasmic was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time that Chrissy's cousins had seen it, so that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Uh, yeah, and it did start to rain a little bit, and people there's a mass of people that like left, and I mean how it is in Florida, the rain comes in and out, so we just sat there. It never got super heavy, and eventually it stopped. And it
Mm-hmm.
was great. It was everything you could love about Fantasmic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up, taking that night. We took a minivan uh, back to Coronado.
Oh, very bougie.
Yeah, that was I was like, we could either go and walk to that bus, or we could take a minivan and go straight there. Because the other thing, when you go take a bus back to Coronado
Mm-hmm.
and you're staying in the tower, you are the last stop.
Yes.
So you've got to go all the way around and hit all of the other bus stops before you get back to the tower. But
Mm-hmm.
obviously, in the minivan, you go right there. So
yeah,
we took the minivan. We splurged on a couple minivans this trip, so that was number one.
okay. All right, so that brings us to Monday, September 8th, and this was a Hollywood Studios day.
Yep.
And you were planning to rope drop. Did you make it?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did get up a little bit later, but we were able to rope drop. We got in even before rope. We got in at just a little after 8. So what early entry was 8:30 because park opens at 9. So we got in there, pretty much 30 minutes before even early entry, and they kind of section you off on what you're allowed to go and do. We decided to go head right for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway right away, because we had multi-pass this day, and we had a couple of other lightning lanes that we scattered about. So this was one we didn't have. We got in line, and they started letting us in closer to 8:30. So we didn't spend too much time in line, which was great. And then we hoofed it over to Galaxy's Edge because we wanted to get on Smuggler's Run before. We didn't have a lightning lane for that either, but you get there early enough. Doesn't really matter. Grabbed a breakfast Ronto wrap.
Wait, do you like Smuggler's Run, or does it make you feel ill? Okay.
No, I don't have a problem with... I'm just very odd. I don't have a problem with Star Tours or Smuggler's Run. I don't have an issue with it at all. It's
okay.
There are some spots where I might close my eyes for a hot second, but I do like Smuggler's Run a lot. I know it's not...
I think it's funny that you just air quoted "close your eyes," and like you either did or you didn't, Chris.
Yeah. Listen, everyone's focused on the screen. Nobody knows what my eyes are doing. They might be closed for more than a second, but for all intents and purposes, I do like these rides. When we jump to hyperspeed or lightspeed. Hyperspace. Oh, my Star Wars.
No, I think it's Lightspeed. Yeah.
Lightspeed, thank you.
Yeah.
Not ludicrous speed, but when we do that jump, there's a little bit of a jolt. My eyes might close for a second, but I do really like Smuggler's Run. I know that there's a lot of opinions out there, especially if you're not a pilot. And yes, we did it, and we were not the pilot, and there was a small child as a pilot. And that's when you have to remind yourself, this is a park for children too. This is not just for us, And it's like, and I'm like, oh, Chrissy, it's a little kid as a pilot. It's gonna be awful. She's like, it's just a kid. Like, it's fine. And
to be fair,
he did everything.
When I'm the pilot, I don't think I'm any better than a small child, which is why I opt out of pilot.
Yeah, so it was fine. She did her best. I don't remember. I think I was I was the one engineer. It was also an odd number. We didn't fill up all the seats. There were only 5 of us, not 6. So there were 2 gunners, and then I was the lone engineer in the back, like hitting the buttons. But I really like it. I think it's fun. I like this interactive. Star Tours. It's pretty much Star Tours, but there's things to do. So I like that a lot. So we did that. The breakfast Ronto wrap was delicious. Love that.
Yes.
And Chrissy really wanted to get blue milk because we found out she doesn't really do dairy, but we found out that it's not dairy. I thought it was milk. Milk was milk, but it actually has no dairy in it at all. So
what is it made with?
It's
is it like coconut milk or something?
Yeah, it's something it's not even. It's got no milk in it. It's not coconut milk. It's not almond milk. It's basically sugar and a syrup. And
interesting.
She got it with rum, and I tried some, and it was good. Very super sweet, but she wanted to try it, so we got that.
Okay.
And then we did Toy Story Mania. We had a lightning lane for that at 10 o'clock. So that's kind of where we are. We love Toy Story Mania. Everyone loves it. It's when the glasses go on, it doesn't matter who you're sitting next to. Brother against brother, it's fine. So
so who won?
Oh, she did. She was much better at it than I was. Chrissy was much better at it than I was.
Congratulations, Chrissy.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. And then we wanted to hit up the things we'd never done, so we saw that the Little Mermaid show had a 10:40
Mm-hmm.
showing, so we ran over to that. We briskly walked over.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot closer to Toy Story Mania than I had anticipated because I didn't realize it's like in the animation courtyard area.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking that it was where the Frozen show is, which is
Oh,
much
okay.
farther away. So
Mm-hmm.
it actually wasn't that bad to get there at all. And it was a great show. I did not see the show before it was redone,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really good. I thought it was a worthy addition. I is it a must do? I don't know about that, but if
It's
you
air
like Little
conditioning.
Mermaid and you like air conditioning and
Mm-hmm.
it was comfortable, we had a front row seat. It was great. It was perfect. And then the other thing we tried to do after we got out of there, so it was a 10:40 Little Mermaid show, and there was an 11:10 Villains show. Now the Villains
Mm-hmm.
is over by Rock and Roller Coaster,
Mm-hmm.
Little Mermaids and Animation Courtyard. I think we had about 7 minutes to get over
Mm-hmm.
there, and I'm not a brisk walk. It took me. We tried to make it. Ultimately, we did not. But I
Oh.
don't know if when I got there was nobody in the queue, and I asked the cast member, it's like, did we miss it? Or she's like, yeah, we were at capacity. So they must have reached capacity before we even.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have a hair of a chance of making it. But that's okay. We waited around Rosie's, got some ice cream. Um, and then Chrissy and her cousins, we met up back up with her cousins, and they did Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, which, if you're following, obviously I did not do those because Tower of Terror does the drop and Rock and Roller Coaster goes upside down. So Chrissy did lose an earring on Rock and Roller Coaster, so
Oh no.
she does, you get bumped around and that
You
head
know what?
restraint thing, and
What I have learned is that with Rock and Roller Coaster, if I'm wearing like dangly earrings, I'm generally okay. But earrings with a post back,
that's exactly what it
you
was. Yep.
you're like getting stabbed in the head over and over again. It's really painful.
Yeah. Her one earring went to lay in the rest with all the many earrings of people people have
Mm-hmm.
lost over the years. So that was pretty funny. Luckily, it wasn't anything super special or whatever. It was
Mm-hmm.
that worked out fine. So after we did that, we were able to make the 110 villain show, and
Mm-hmm.
now I will say the villain show, for as long as it is there, because I think they it's supposed to be temporary. It was phenomenal, and that is definitely like a must do. Did you go to see it?
I really liked it. I
Yeah, I
really
thought it
did.
was
Yeah.
great.
I've interviewed multiple people who said that they loved it. And then one of my really good friends, Sachi, who is Manhattan to Main Street on Instagram and on TikTok, um, she did not like it. And so she had told me that before I went in to go see it. And I was like, this is so much fun. I really
What's her beef with the
liked it.
show?
And she liked the look of the staging, I think, but she just didn't really care
Well,
for the
yeah.
content of
To
it
be
as much.
fair, I can understand that because you sort of have to. I will say the plot. The plot was. Who's been treated the most unfair? I kind of had to
Mhm.
pull myself out of that and just be like, is this interesting? I also would say too. Again, overall, I think you should see it. I think it's a must do.
Mhm.
But I thought the choice of the villains was odd,
Mm.
and Chrissy was always like was as we talk about it is like, well, maybe they'll change them out. I don't know. I mean, they have all the pictures and stuff outside of
Mhm.
Cruella and Maleficent and Captain Hook, right? And
Mhm.
so I don't get the feeling that they're going to be changing them out. Although that would be really cool, I think, if
It
they
would
did
be.
change them out.
Yeah.
But it is an odd choice. Cruella Deville doesn't really scream villain to me. I mean, I know she is, but like, I mean, It's just not
Killing
what I would
puppies
have.
is not enough of a villain.
Oh, okay, I suppose, yeah, but but it's, I think, of the weaker of the villains, weaker villains.
I'm gonna say I thought the same thing, sort of, but about Captain Hook.
Oh, I agree. Captain Hook too. I think the two of them. I think
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent makes sense, but the
Mm-hmm.
Captain Hook and Cruella Deville, I think, because then, I mean, Maleficent won my show, and from what I understand, wins
Mm-hmm.
most of them
Mm-hmm.
because
I
the whole
wasn't
idea
clear
of
on whether somebody else could actually win. Like,
like,
if the
right,
applause
yes,
happened for
right,
one of the
right.
others, would they actually crown a different winner? I'm
Right.
not
I
sure.
don't know. I don't exactly. Because if it's, yeah, and that's that whole interactive part of the show, which they really lean into in the plot of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It didn't really seem like the show was very much set up for anyone else to win.
Hello there. I am just breaking in to let you know that Renee, who you have heard on the show before and will hear on the show in the upcoming weeks, and Jody, a listener of the podcast, both let me know different villains can win the Villains show over in Hollywood Studios. Renee let me know when I was doing an interview with her that Cruella won when she saw it, and Jody reached out and said that Captain Hook won. So my next question for people who have seen it multiple times, and I am looking at you, Haley and Garrett of Duckworth Stew Disney, who I know saw it a lot of times. Do each of the villains have two different versions of their songs? One that is a winning version and one that is a losing version? Because it seems like the people who win have a much more robust song that makes you feel like they are the obvious winner. But in the versions of the show where they don't win, is their song a little bit less fabulous so that they don't win? So, if you know, if anyone out there knows, please reach out. All right, back to the show.
Again, you have two really weak villains against
Mm-hmm.
Maleficent. So, but
Who would
either
you have
way.
put in there if you could pick
Oh yeah,
different villains?
so yeah. You get a little bit of Jafar and Hades in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Jafar could have been a
Sure.
good addition. Hades, meh, I don't know about that. I don't. I think like an Ursula gets a big piece there too, but I
Uh-huh.
think she would have been good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they
Hard to
just
have
seem
somebody
more,
come out with tentacles onto the stage, though.
right.
She's my favorite,
But
though.
well, it's Chrissy's favorite too. She has
Mm-hmm.
the Ursula ears.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, interesting. I think if there is some way for Disney to like shake them up, that would
Mm-hmm.
be really cool. And I think give some length to the show because I mean, after you've seen it a bunch of times,
Mm-hmm.
but the
Yeah.
whole magic mirror thing and the music was cool, and
Yeah.
it's just a big transformation from Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy.
Right. Yeah, I think they did a beautiful job converting the theater. And I really liked the little theme song. Like it was kind of a bop.
Oh
Like
yeah,
as
what
you're
was it?
heading out. I can't think of the tune right now. I was just like, this
Oh
is
yeah,
like really
it was
catchy.
good. It was very catchy.
Um,
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. Yeah.
yeah, I would recommend 100% seeing it to people. But I do agree. If it's going to stay the same, if they're not going to swap out villains, then I'm not sure that it's going to be too much of a repeat experience unless you just are, you know, solidly in love with the show.
Right. Yeah.
So,
So, um, after that, we got out. It was raining,
mm-hmm.
and so we sort of, in line with our let's take it easy and chill, we decided to just leave the park at that point because, in my head, in my opinion, I think that
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Studios is a half day park. I
Okay.
I
Hot take.
I you know, I think, Animal Kingdom full day, Hollywood Studios half day,
Very hot take.
especially with a 5-year old,
Uh-huh.
because he's only so much he can do. There's only so much that he will want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and so that. But obviously, we didn't have our 5-year old with us. But I still felt like, all right, it's raining. This is our opportunity. We had plans to go to Magic Kingdom that evening, so
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to take it easy. We ended up, so we left, went back to the resort, took the bus back to the resort this time. We did not take the minivan. And then we took another nap, took some breaks, and tried to figure out what our next moves were. We decided that, going back to our list of things that we wanted to do, we wanted to check out the new tower at Polynesian, and the Wailulu Grill there. So we changed, put some new things on, and then we took a minivan from Coronado Springs to the Poly Tower. Now, hey, there's very little ways to get from resort to resort, and you're going to take a bus back to a park.
You don't have to justify this bouginess to me.
I'm just saying, So we took a minivan to Poly Tower with the intention of going to eat at Wailulu. The tower, from what you can see as a mere commoner who does not have, who was not staying at the hotel, they have everything locked down above the first floor. Like, you cannot go up. We tried the elevators. You need Magic Band access, to get up to anything above floor 1. So the lobby was beautiful. From what we saw, the lobby was beautiful. They gave us leis, and we were able to walk right into Wailulu with a very short wait, and we had a great lunch. We may have considered, at this point, emptying one of our retirement accounts to buying a DVC. We did not do that. The waiter that was there was from Hawaii, and so he was talking to us about Hawaii. We said we love Hawaiian food and all that stuff. We've never been to Hawaii, so maybe one day. I guess it was sort of an odd time. It wasn't really lunch, and also wasn't dinner. We tried the musubi. I got the short rib loco moco, and Chrissy got the teriyaki sliders. Everything was out of this world. It was so good. We will be back there. My only hope is that, sometimes with a lot of these restaurants across the whole resort and Disney property, like, the menus don't change. And I really feel like this is a spot where I hope they I'm not saying that the menu needs to change every month or whatever, but it would be really interesting to see what else they could come up with for Hawaiian food there, because I think there's so much they could do, and the menu is rather limited. There's like 3 or 4 different entrees, a bunch of appetizers, but like compared to other restaurants, I thought the menu was like kind of limited. So the food we got was delicious. I don't regret anything. It was so good. Then we took the monorail, walked over to the main building, and took the monorail to Magic Kingdom, and we got in there around 4:30 or so. This was not a party. This was like the non-party day sandwiched in between party days. So it was a little more crowded at Magic Kingdom, and like in like a perfect way, the weather was, it wasn't like super sunny, so it was kind of cloudy. Not the best for pictures, but great for people walking around. It wasn't super, surface of the sun or anything like that. We immediately went to the People Mover. We walked over to the People Mover and got to ride it twice. We did the little spin with our hands. I wanted to try it out. I was super anxious. One of those people that's like, is this real or is this social media? Right? Like,
it's totally real.
They know what they're... And they knew it. I was more excited that the cast member knew what I was asking for than us actually going around twice. I was like, that's so cool. I felt like I was in a club. It was awesome. So we did the People Mover, and then we were kind of putzing around because her cousins were going to come meet us to watch the fireworks and whatnot. We had some cheeseburgers, spring rolls. Those were delicious. And then we had a Lightning Lane for Haunted Mansion about 7:00. And this is where things really, like, everything just jived together so well. There were so, like, many places with, like, very short wait times. It was unbelievable. We had a 7:00 Lightning Lane for Haunted, and then once we got out of that, I was able to grab a Lightning Lane for Peter Pan, and then walked over to Small World, which only had a 5-minute wait. Obviously, we wanted to hear that the new lyric at the end of
Oh
the
yeah.
end of the. And then, of course, we got stuck in that room for about way longer than we anticipated. So, and that ride you get stuck on, and it's torture. And people around, I was sitting there just on my phone, like waiting for it to keep going, and people around us were just like, "This is awful! I can't believe it." And that didn't bother me at all. So I don't know what that says about me, but I was able to tune it out. And then after Small World, Chrissy wanted to do Pirates, and normally I don't have a problem with Pirates. There is a drop where I look very much like I did on Dinosaur, for the 1.5 seconds that drop actually happens. But I was like, go ahead, I'm gonna go do something else, and picked up some Dole Whip with the pineapple upside down cake. I had no idea that this was a thing.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. So good. The cake was warm, and the Dole Whip was. I did the Dole Whip and the vanilla swirl. It was delicious. I loved it. Then we had a Beacon Barrel reservation. We were able to score Beacon Barrel reservations. We had picked it up on the Tuesday before we left. So the Tuesday of that week. What day was that? Was it the day? The day you left? Yeah, the second.
Yeah.
I was working, and all of a sudden, like, the group chat starts lighting up, and Chrissy's cousins are telling us that, oh, they just dropped a whole bunch of Beacon Barrel reservations. And sure enough, we were able to grab some. So we were all able to get in there together, and this was an interesting experience. So you didn't get to go, unfortunately.
No.
If you like campiness, like the waitress never broke her pirate accent. Not once. Never once. None of them ever broke character. And I like camp. I obviously wanted to experience it. I wanted to do all of that. But I don't know. I'm just like, oh god, the camp. Everybody was talking like a pirate, and then it very much felt like Woody's Roundup Rodeo, where like things happen, and then you all have to respond. And if you're like me, and everyone's like pretending that the ship is rocking back and forth, and I'm sitting there not moving, they're like, "Oh, this man, he's got some kind of magic with him or something. He's not moving." But it was, I mean, it lived up to the expectation, I think. Like, they really set a high bar. The art that they had put out for this place matched exactly what was in there. It really was. It was great. So I definitely think if you're, I don't even think you need to be a pirate fan. I'm no pirate fan, but I would go back there just to experience it. There was so much to look at, and hopefully, as we get on and we continue on, that it'll be easier to get in. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into like a Trader Sam's where you can barely get in.
I mean, I hope not too, but I also recognize that it's the only bar in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, and they're very strict. They before you even get in, the hostesses in their pirate garb and pirate accents, and pirate speak, explain to you the rules. You have 45 minutes. You can only have two drinks per person, and you can't bring anything out with you. Everything's got to be finished before you're done. You can't bring anything with you. So
yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talk about,
it's like Oga's.
Yeah.
But
I think you might be able to walk out with certain things in Oga's.
I don't know that you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I know in Magic Kingdom, right? They don't let you.
Maybe because in Hollywood Studios you can walk around.
That's alcohol. That was the only thing that I was thinking about, because at Magic Kingdom they won't let even all the table service stuff. You can't walk out with anything. So.
Right.
I definitely think if you can get a reservation, you should try it. It's great. It fits right in with the whole Disney. They pulled out all the stops. It was, the drinks were great. Chrissy got whatever drink that comes in the skull, and it was It's just like at Oga's where you can buy the drink that comes in the poured glass, and then you can get the poured. You can bring it home, which I did when we went to Oga's. So I couldn't say no when Chrissy wanted to bring the skull home, for $46.
Oh my word!
I was like, you better be drinking milk, and you better be using that. When we brought it home, they let you drink out of it, but then they give you a new one to bring with you.
Right.
And when we brought it home and it was sitting on the counter in the box, I was like, that's a $46 mug. We need to take that out and display it, put it somewhere.
You're using that for every beverage from here on out.
Yeah. And then I got like the corn cake, and that was actually really good. There was like a corn cake with some chicken and cheese, and I thought the food at Beacon Barrel was better than the food at GO82, but
okay.
I think they just were focused more on it at Beacon Barrel, and GO82 was focused more on the drinks and that kind of experience. So definitely worth it. After we got out of Beacon Barrel, Happily Ever After was going off. It was, because we had like an 8:40 reservation. So by the time we got out, Happily Ever After was going off. And I tried to go as close to the castle as we could, coming from Adventureland. And we were able to see the tail end of it. And then I had this was another like Disney moment where you get to the end of Happily Ever After, and Tinkerbell does the thing, and at the end they start to play like just the normal song version of Happily Ever After, and I've had this playing in my car on my iTunes forever, so much so that when it comes on in the car, my son is like, oh, that's the Disney song, and he knows it, whatever. So I know all the words, and I like to sing it, and it's one of those moments for me. And there's this couple that's like walking down past us, and he's singing it, and so I join in and sing it with him, and we just had this moment of like yelling this song at each other, and it was such a quintessential like, here are two grown men just like singing this song to each other. It was great. It was perfect. And then I said to Chrissy, did you get any of that on video? And she said no. And I went, oh no!
She was living in the moment, enjoying it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. I love Happily Ever After. I was like, tearing up, even I didn't even finish watching it. It was awesome. I loved it. But the real prize was that we were staying for Starlight.
Yes.
So Starlight was, I thought was at 11, but it actually ended up being at 10:30. So I was on my way to the bathroom at one point, and I hear it start going. And I ran back to where we were because I knew I was going to miss it.
Where did you end up watching it from?
So we ended up. This is bench number 3. Originally, I was on right after Happily Ever After and the crowd start leaving. There were these like 6 or so white benches on the bridge that goes from the hub into Liberty Square. It's a wooden bridge, and then like if you're walking into Liberty Square, they're on the left hand side, and there's like 6 or 7 big long white benches, and there was nobody sitting there. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is a perfect spot. I have to sit here for this parade. So I plopped myself down. Chrissy went off to go find a bathroom or something. And I was like, I'm good. Like we probably had an hour, but I'm like, I'm not leaving. This is a perfect spot. I'm going to sit here. We'll figure out, And then 10 minutes into me sitting there, a cast member came over and said, oh, we have to vacate this area, yada, yada, yada. And I was like...
I was just about to say, I know for a fact during Happily Ever After, they save it for VIPs.
Okay, so that leads... So I move not too far away, luckily, and just move over to the walkway, that like the concrete walkway. So I'm still on the path where the parade is eventually going to go over that bridge. So I was right there on the front, on the rope. It was great. It was still a great spot. You can see the footage on my TikTok. It was a perfect spot. But I was so confused. I was like, why did they make me move? because then later on I saw them let people in. And so it must be, I must be a VIP section.
I think it's people who have done VIP tours that day.
Oh.
Because I noticed that when we were there Labor Day weekend, they roped it off and they were all like, those benches are not normally sitting in the spots that they are.
Okay.
They move them up a little bit and they kind of like stagger them into nice little rows to sit in.
Here you go.
Yeah,
so
they move them. They move them during other points of the day.
So here I was like, wow, how did nobody find these? And then I was kicked out anyway. So anyway, but we still had a great spot for the parade. The parade was awesome. I really liked it. I'm not a parade person. I do not need to stop and watch the Festival of Fantasy or I don't know, if it's happening, it's happening. But I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. I wanted to see this, and it did not disappoint. I thought it was great.
Yep.
Did you see it while you were there?
I did, and I 100% agree with you. I am not a parade person. I will see one if it walks past me. I might stop for a minute or two. I never go out of my way to sit and wait for a parade unless it's a parade that I've never seen before. And so I specifically waited for this one, and I loved it. I thought it was a really nice, evening parade, and we were missing that in Magic Kingdom. I was really glad to have something back.
The music, I'm a big music person. When those first like horns start in the beginning for Happily Ever After, I'm already a puddle of tears. Like it's like the music and the instrumental, all of that stuff. That's what really like it tingles for me. And so that Starlight like anthem, I was like, this is awesome. And I thought the floats were great. It was all great. It was good.
What was your favorite float? Do you remember?
Oh, I think I really liked the Frozen float. I thought the Frozen float was great.
Okay.
I like the Frozen float. Well, I like Frozen. I think it's great.
Our favorite
followed
was
very
Coco.
closely. Oh, the Coco one was really cool because yes, I like that one too. And I like the what is this? I forget. They have a name for that train now. It's like Stimpy or oh man, I don't know
what the train's name is.
He has a name, Smiley or Starry or something. He has a name. But the train float's cool. It has all the yeah. I thought it was great. Well worth waiting until 10:30 or whatever it's going to be. And and then I was starving at that point, so we hit up Casey's Corner. It was still open, still doing mobile ordering. So we sat there and had some hot dog nuggets to get quick service. We were using those quick service credits and shopped our way out Main Street and eventually took the buses back to Coronado. It was awesome. It was a great night.
Okay, we have to go back briefly because I heard your bench in Epcot.
Yes.
I heard your bench in Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, but I missed a Hollywood Studios
bench. Yeah. Okay, so this bench, the bench for Hollywood Studios, is in the that like transit way to enter into like the Rock and Roller Coaster area.
Okay.
Where the track and the car thing is above you. So you're walking in towards through the like arch thing. On the left hand side, there's some green metal benches up against the wall. One of those. That spot. It's shady at all times because there's trees above you. People constantly walking by. You have full view of like both the right hand side where the Tower of Terror entrance is and the left hand side. It's by a bathroom.
It's got a really great soundtrack.
Right, yes. Oh, yeah, the music there is great.
Okay.
I don't know what it's going to be like when the Muppets get in there, but...
Who knows? But for now, I love it.
But yes, that's my Hollywood Studios bench. Thank you for keeping me honest.
Yes. All right, so that brings us to Tuesday, September 9th, which was your departure day. You originally had an 11 a.m. Liberty Tree, but I heard you say earlier in our conversation that you canceled it because of your quick service credits.
We did.
So let's start
there. The night before, we're trying to figure out what we're doing. And I said, we have 4 quick service credits. We had used up all the snacks at Epcot. We had 4 quick service credits left. We just need to. We probably should. It would be much. It would be more fiscally responsible for us to use the quick service credits than to go and go to Liberty Tree Tavern, even though we really wanted to go. But so we decided to go ahead and cancel it. Set ourselves like the night before, so that way we wouldn't even have to worry about whether or not we need to make that decision the next day. So we got up. We actually had another friend that was there for a conference at Coronado Springs that morning. So we met up with her for coffee at Barcelona Lounge, and then we dropped off our bags at Bell Services, checked out on the app and all that, and went to Magic Kingdom that morning. So that was about like 9:30. We started heading over to the park. So no rope drop, just chill morning, taking our time. And it was a beautiful morning. We've been in the parks probably more than average, as they say, but not as much as many people, and I had never seen any of the vehicles operating like on Main Street. That morning we had the Dapper Dans being pulled around on the horse-drawn carriage. We had the bus going, the cars going. It was like, wow, I've never seen that before. Maybe I'm just there too early that you're already past, Main Street by that point. But I never seen it. So I got, I thought it was great. I love the ragtime music and all that. It was perfect. So we got a lot of pictures and took all of that in. And then we were kind of like, well, what do? We did a lot of Tomorrowland the last time we were there. So we ended up going over to through Adventureland. We did not go back to the spring roll cart as much as we wanted to. It was way too early for that. So instead we got Dole Whip. We went over to get some Dole Whip.
Never too early for Dole Whip.
Yep. We sat outside the flying carpets and had some Dole Whip before we went into the Tiki Room. We hadn't done that in a long time. Admittedly, I may have dozed slightly in the Tiki Room. That show is long. It is a long show. And I can't quite follow the plot. I don't know what the I feel like the speakers, things need to be louder in there. I'm not sure. It's the birds are speaking and the tiki guys are going and something's exploding in the back. I was admittedly, I was like, oh, that was nice, but it was fine. Then when you came out of there and you start walking past Pirates and up that way, kind of going into Frontierland, I had forgotten, but then quickly remembered that Golden Oak Outpost sells beignets. And we love the beignets over at French Quarter. And I was like, oh, let's try these. They are very different. I don't know if have you had them?
I have not had them, and I am a little nervous too because I love the ones at French Quarter so much.
Okay, so they're two separate camps. Don't they're both delicious. I would not compare the two of them. The beignets at French Quarter, they're Mickey shaped, as you know, and they're very they're bready, they're doughy, right? There's there's a lot to them. The beignets at Golden Oak Outpost are the more traditional beignets from New Orleans. They're the little little pillows, and so they're totally different texture. They're a lot less doughy. They're more airy, and they drizzle them with honey and powdered sugar. They were delicious. I would not compare the two because I think they're both good. I think they're both delicious. So we had sat down, got some beignets. And we stopped in Pecos Bills to use the bathroom. I have in my notes, in my notes about Pecos Bill bathrooms, they are old and need a renovation.
Yes,
and a lot of bathrooms, correct, a lot of the bathrooms in the parks have had their renovations. So maybe that's a place that they need to take a look at. And we were filling up our water bottles and all that. Went to see the Country Bears again. I think that the new show is great.
I love it.
I'd seen the old show and we saw it right before it closed. and I think I'd seen it before that, but maybe when I was younger and didn't quite understand what was going on. And even still, when I saw it
I was
before
gonna
it
say.
closed, didn't quite understand what was going on. I was like, and I remember being in there with other people. It's like, are they saying that? Are they really
Mm-hmm.
saying what they're supposed to say? So I was like, I was happy to see the thing change, not for any particular reason, but I just think the songs are better.
I
They're
just think it's
catchy and
fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun. I think it's a shame that they've taken Big Al and turned him into just a one joke bear. Like
Mm-hmm.
he got a lot more screen time in the old show, but so we saw the Bears. We love that. And then I'm a I had to go see Hall of Presidents.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it's like a 25-minute show, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think it's I just I sit in there and I think I can't believe they had to make every single one of these animatronics like
Mm-hmm.
move, and even just so slightly, and
Mm-hmm.
so I did my duty. I went in there and I saw Hall of Presidents. That was fine.
Mm-hmm.
The air conditioning in there could be better, for a place that's supposed to be.
Yeah, but at least the seats are comfy.
The seats are comfy. I personally, if they went in there and they wanted to do the whole Muppet thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be great.
Oh my gosh.
Perfect.
Did you see it when they would have the Muppets hanging out the windows? I cannot
No,
remember
I
what it
never
was called.
did.
Oh,
I
it was
don't.
so much fun. I
That would be
absolutely loved
perfect.
that. I
I
loved
think
it.
I think it would be perfect, and it would get Disney out of lots of trouble. I
Uh-huh.
think it
Yeah.
would. I
Yep.
think it would be great. I hope. I really do hope they do that.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing Liberty Tree Tavern, one of the other places I wanted to try was Columbia Harbor House, because I've been there before, but I don't think I got the right things. And so this
Okay.
time I was there to fix that, and I got the fried trio, the plate of brown, as I'll
Uh-huh.
call it. Like
Okay.
it's a piece of fried fish, a couple fried shrimp, a chicken tender, and to spice it up, I got it with rice instead of fries.
Uh-huh.
Um, Chrissy got some chicken tenders and green beans, so that was nice. And we
Mm-hmm.
sat upstairs in the upper level there, um, and it was delicious. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Quick service credit. Talk about bang for your buck.
Oh
That
yeah.
thing is like the $15 platter, all fish, shrimp, chicken tenders, and a drink. That has got to be a very high on the bar of like getting the
Mm-hmm.
most bang for your buck for quick service. That was awesome. That was
Yep.
delicious. So we ate there. I write here, stopped to pay respects at the Tangled bathrooms. Just think that Tangled deserves more, as many people do. I do
Mm-hmm.
think that the bath. It's I love when you go in there. I assume, I don't know what's on the women's side, but on the men's side, there's they've got the iron pans in there, like
Mm-hmm.
because she like hit the guy with the pan. I think those
Yeah.
details are just so funny.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
even for the bathrooms. We hit up the Under the Sea ride with Ariel. Anything that's an Omni mover where I can sit in air conditioning, I'll take it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. I think it's great. Um, no matter how creepy some of the animatronics are in there, where they're just super rubbery,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then we hit up the Big Top Souvenirs for a caramel butter bar. It was something Chrissy
Yummy.
wanted. It
Yep.
was very good. And then we ended the day in Tomorrowland, rode the People Mover again. Space Mountain was a walk on almost the entire day.
Wow. Wow.
5 minutes. So like Chrissy went and did that. I'm sure people were doing that, just walking in, walking out.
Uh-huh.
There is
But
not a lot to do.
this was a party day though, right?
It was a party day,
And
yeah.
you needed to leave early anyway because of your
We needed
flight.
to leave early
So
anyway to leave. So
that explains it. Okay.
but wow, even Tron was almost like 20, 30 minutes, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
which is good. But there's just not a lot to do in Tomorrowland
Mm.
anymore. At this, like with Buzz Lightyear being closed, and
Yeah.
there's that land needs some love. There's
It does.
there's not a lot going on there. So we rode the People Mover again, did Space Mountain, said goodbye to Chrissy's cousins because they were staying longer. And then we used our last 2 quick service credits at Casey's Corner again. Got some more hot dogs.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
Exactly. This time I opted for the footlong hot dog. That was. I don't think I'll ever do that again. That was a lot. So we used our last 2 quick service credits there, and then we went back to the hotel, picked up our bags, and took a lift back to the airport. There, that was it.
Did everything go okay with your return flight?
Yeah, it was good. We had I think we did have another 6 o'clock flight or so. We got back into Washington late evening. We were home before dinner time, so we could see our son before he went to bed and all that. So, so it all worked out.
All right. You mentioned at the beginning another trip you have coming up where you've done a bounce back offer for Coronado. So that's April, you said?
Yeah. So we had a Disney cruise, our first Disney cruise, booked already for April of 2026. This time we are bringing our son. We wouldn't do that to him. He doesn't know about it. Thankfully, he doesn't listen to podcasts, so he won't hear about it. And I think maybe we'll try to surprise him with it as a Christmas gift this year. We do love cruises. This is our first Disney cruise, but we've done a bunch of Royal cruises. And we always come in the day before, so we don't have any trouble. So we already had a 1-night stay at All-Star Sports booked before the day before. But we originally were just going to come home when the ship pulled in and fly back that day. But when we were looking at the bounce back offers and working with our travel agent, by the way, our travel agent, Danny from Fantastical Vacations.
Yes. And I will put Danny's information in the show notes.
She's great. So immediately, I think in the airport on the way home, I was like, "Thank you so much. This was a great trip. We want to book our bounce back offers. Here are some options. Here are some dates." And one of the options I was like, well, what if because the cruise ends on a Friday, so we've got a couple of days if we want to do something. So yes, we ended up booking just a 2-night bounce back. So we'll stay at Coronado Springs the Friday we get in from the cruise, and then the Saturday, and fly back on Sunday. No parks. Parks. This is our big thing now. So no parks.
I was going to say that doing 1 night at an All-Star, heading off on a Disney cruise, and then coming back, even if you're going to do a couple nights in a hotel, I think as much as I love the parks, I don't think I would want to go and run myself ragged for 2 nights after coming off of what presumably will be a relaxing cruise. So, yeah.
Yeah, the cruise actually, it's just a 4-nighter, but it's only going to, which is why we booked it. It's only going to Castaway Cay and Lighthouse Point. So normally, right, they go to like a Nassau or something. But I thought it was so interesting that this cruise was only going to their islands. So I'm kind of excited about that. So talk about being in the bubble for 4 nights. Yeah. So we booked those 2 days, and then we also booked 4 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge in July of 2026.
That's
no parks. No parks.
That's interesting. So right now we are booked for Wilderness Lodge because Copper Creek is our home resort. But when we hit the 7-month mark, I'm going to see what's available. And Animal Kingdom is on my list of potential places to switch to because we haven't stayed there before.
We have never stayed there either. And we're there the week after 4th of July because that's when it was all. That was like it worked out because I was like.
That's when I would be there too. So
we'll cross that bridge.
we may be there at the same time.
But I want to say all the places and all the things, right? That's what people like to do. So we've never stayed there. We're bringing our son, and I've done the part. We just want to relax. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want, and so Danny gave us two really good options, and talk about like price wise with the big discount with the bounce back. We were between Animal Kingdom Lodge and Polynesian Village, which was, I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
wow, to be able to have that combination, like to have those options.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do we do? Because we've never stayed at both, and like Poly is like a dream that we want to
Uh-huh.
stay there. I took it to TikTok. I did post a TikTok, and I was like, "What should we do?" And ultimately decided to go with Animal Kingdom Lodge
Mm-hmm.
because, and some people had this thought too. If you're not going to go to the parks, why be
Mm-hmm.
tempted to go to the parks? Like, it'd be so easy to get on the monorail and do that. And if you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you're just there. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go anywhere, you got to get on a bus. It's not easy for you to go anywhere. So,
Right.
you can really just stay there. We have a Savannah view, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. So we're plus in the middle of July. In July, it's probably going to be hot.
Yeah.
And so pool, air conditioned,
Mm-hmm.
eating. So
Yep.
that's it. There's our Disney time.
I have heard that of the places to do a staycation at, Animal Kingdom Lodge is one of the best, and the pools are amazing. So we'll see. We'll see. That might be where we end up too. But I think for your purposes, that sounds like the perfect option for you. So
yeah. So
very exciting.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Well, Chris, it has been so much fun chatting with you, my birthday twin. And I hope that we will see each other again at some point for another trip report, or perhaps see each other next summer.
Yeah. I would love it. This is great. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. This was, you're doing a great job. Kudos to you for putting it all together yourself. It's a lot of work.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, have a magical rest of your week then.
Thanks.
Thank you again to Chris for being on the show and for being such a fantastic guest. Listeners, please make sure you check out his channel over on TikTok and give it a follow. And while you're there, please make sure you give Where I Long to Be podcast page a follow as well. Like I mentioned in this episode, I am trying to be more active over there, and watching people like Chris and some other friends do their thing and have so much fun, it really is inspiring to me to try to keep it up. So I'm going to try. And with that, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you all so much for listening. Please come back again next week. And as always, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.